Hey everybody, this is Ariel Soltoro with WatchReport.com coming to you today with the Caribbean 300, which is made by Yeni. Now, this is a faithful reedition to the Yeni Caribbean 700, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. But before I get into the actual review, let me go ahead and remind you to go back to WatchReport.com to read the reviews of all the watches that you guys want to wear. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So, as far as the actual review, I like to always start off with a little bit about the company. This particular company is still family owned. I start with that because a lot of people have the question, is this a company that was just resurrected? Um, to some degree, I think a lot of companies that we all talk about are resurrected. Why? Because automatic watches took a pretty big hit in the quartz boom industry. So um, the quartz watches kind of, I guess, trampled on a lot of particular brands. Now, some brands died completely. Yeni, on the other hand, is a brand that is still family owned, has always been family owned, and is going to continue to be family owned for some time. So it's a brand that has always stayed in the family, and they've continued to do their thing for many years. Their company dates back to the 60s, and their claim to fame is the actual industry first 1,000 meter monoblock case, which the original owners of the Yeni company, I should say, the ones that started it, they were producing these cases because they were awesome, and so they were producing these cases, selling them, and distributing to prominent Swiss brands. So you know that you're getting cases that are able to truly withstand the test of time, not just something that is, um, brought over, and we kind of hope it works. So that's kind of the cool thing. You know that when you're holding this particular watch, you're holding a little piece of history. So the family got together, sons of the original owners got together, and they said, okay, well, we need to take this company and expand it. So they did. They continued to produce cases for Eisenhart, for Aquadive, Fortis, and a ton of other brands that you guys will see in my actual review. 69 comes around, and they actually patent this decompression bezel that we've all not become familiar with, because truly, I think a lot of us look at it and just say, you know what, it's a really cool aesthetic piece. Truly, I'm not a diver. I've said it in my other reviews, but I am a professional dust diver. I'm a watch lover, watch collector, and I love seeing something that I know was truly used by a lot of people in that time era. Now, granted, we have all these dive computers and whatnot, but I can tell you that if you follow the instructions on how to actually operate this decompression bezel, it's still as functional as it was from day one. Now, that, of course, was patented under U.S. patent number 3,613,354, for those that are interested in actually looking it up, and it's in my actual review. Now, as far as case diameter, it's 42 millimeters. Its case height is 12.3, which is pretty nice. Now, we're going to talk about the case here in just a little bit and how it plays into one of the numbers that I'm about to give you, which is, I know you're going to drop, your jaw at least will drop, but don't fret, there's a reason for it. Lug size, 21 millimeters. Now, one of the cool things about this is because of the case design, it looks like a 22 millimeter. It does not look, I guess if it's kind of that glass is half empty or half full. In this case, it's half full. It looks more of like a 22 millimeter than it does a 20 millimeter. So I think you guys, again, will be pretty happy with that. Now, here comes that number that I think that you guys are going to be like, nah, there's no way. But there is a way. 50 millimeter lugs. Why can you wear this watch? Why is this watch so wearable? We'll talk about that here in just a second. This particular model that was sent to me, this is the Beads of Rice bracelet. It's a beautiful bracelet. I think it adds to its vintage look. Now, it's going to come with this. So I'll just kind of hold it, put the watch down here for a second, kind of talk about this because I won't talk about it again. This is the Yeni rubber strap. It's really nice. The quality is real nice, but I'm not sure if you can tell here. It is a lint magnet, and it's just something that, again, I prefer to use the Beads of Rice bracelet. I'm a bracelet guy, and if I have to go rubber, then I usually go isoframe. But it is a signed, you can see the keepers are signed, the buckle here is signed. So if you're looking for something and you're not wanting to spend the extra money on the Beads of Rice, then I totally get it. It's still a very nice strap, and it'll work just fine for you. So go ahead and take that. Let me grab the watch here again. So back to the watch. The movement is a high-grade Swiss ETA 2824 crystal flat sapphire with anti-reflective coating. Water resistance 300 meter, 1,000 feet. And the retail price is $945, ranging all the way to $1245. Why does it range? Well, if you're a Doxa owner, Yenny is giving you a discount. Pretty cool, right? So mention to them that you are a Doxa owner. If you've purchased a Doxa before, then go ahead and write them, let them know, and they will provide you a discount. If you happen to not have bought a Doxa from them, now that doesn't mean that you bought a Doxa off the sales forums. That means that you actually bought one from them. But if you happen to have not bought one from them, then the price is going to be $1245. Beads of Rice bracelet is not included in that $1245. That's going to be with the rubber strap. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, the watch is going to come in this box that you see here, right? There it is, Yenny. If I didn't mention it before, Yenny is the actual correct pronunciation of this watch. A lot of people say Jenny, kind of like Forrest Gump did. This is not the Forrest Gump Jenny that you're used to. This is a Yenny, and it's pronounced with a Y. As far as the again, what it comes with, it's going to be your box. It's going to be your warranty card. It's got a really nice little gold hang tag that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So pretty cool. Now let's get into the actual watch. This Yenny has one of the most legible dials that I have ever seen. Love the dial. Sorry about that, guys. My watch, my camera cycled there, but this dial is awesome. Extremely legible. It's got one of the most beautiful blues that you could ever imagine. Again, often imitated. Often imitated. Same with the Doxa blue, but it's seldom duplicated. Now the hands are beautiful. The dial is incredible. It is one of my favorite dials because I can look down at any angle and tell the time. It's just, it stands out. Now, it's going to have your markers at the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9. Those are applied markers versus just your loomed applicated markers. Again, at the 11, the 1, the 2, and so on. But again, I like that. It adds to the aesthetic pop, and so I think that it probably would have cluttered the dial a little bit if markers would have been applied to every one of them. So I like it, and I think that you'll agree once you have the watch that you like the application too. The loom is strong. It's awesome. So you'll see a loom shot in the actual pictures. It's hard to do, of course, with these studio lights to turn them all off and blacken the room. So you're gonna like what you see. As far as the movement, I've got it stopped here. Let me go ahead and get it started. 2824. It's a high grade Swiss ETA, and it's gonna have an engraved Yenny rotor. Not gonna be able to see it, of course, because of the case back, but just know it's there. 40 hour power reserve. I say the 42 because in my mind I always give it about 42 good spins, and that keeps her running pretty strong. As far as the actual bezel, the bezel is beautiful. I'm trying to capture the light here. It's a beautiful sapphire bezel. Now the numbers are actually going to be below it. As far as the pip, that's also below it. You can see kind of a cutout right there, guys. It gives this entire bezel a three-dimensional look. Plus you have the two outer concentric circles of the bezel playing well with the markers. Of course, markers are a slight tinge of green, and the date window is very white. But man, it looks awesome. It just has such pop, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. Bezel is, of course, on most dive watches. It's a unidirectional rotating bezel, and it's got a coin edge. Now, while the coin edge is extremely beautiful, it is at times, especially if your hands may be a little bit sweaty, it's a little hard to turn. But again, that's just kind of with the coin edge. But a beautiful, beautiful bezel. Now, I have the case here, so let's talk about the case design. We talked about one of those jaw-dropping numbers, 50 millimeter. Is going to be your lug to lug. A lot of guys are going to say, oh my gosh, Ariel, there's no way that I can wear that. Well, there is a way. And it incorporates the case and, of course, the case back. And I'll tell you why. You see how the actual case lugs, how they drop down there? It's a pretty dramatic drop. Well, that makes the watch very wearable. Now, because they drop so much, what they had to do is they had to incorporate a very chunky, let's see here, there it is, a very chunky case back. It's an awesome looking case back. It's got all your pertinence on it. It's got that traditional and original Yeni Caribbean logo. That is a swordfish, right? It's a little different than the one that a lot of us have seen. I'm flashing it right there. That Doxa logo, Doxa fish. So a little different. But because of the fact that the case back is so chunky and I guess let's just say sits low, then what it does is it actually raises the watch up on your wrist. So that way it's not hurting you, it's not poking you, and again adds to the wearability. You'll see that the entire case is brushed and just pretty awesome looking, guys. There's that shade of blue again. The crown is going to be another swordfish. It is a sign crown. You guys can pull it out. It has no wobble. If you notice right there, you don't see any type of wobble whatsoever. Very sturdy, right? All right, giving you some more looks. Beads of Rice bracelet. This is optional, guys, but again, if you guys decide not to get it, that's fine. The rubber strap that it comes with is just fine. But if you do decide to get this, it's going to give you one heck of a workout, I think, sizing it. So make sure that you boil the bracelet. Do not boil the head of the watch. Boil just the bracelet, and that'll help loosen a little bit of that Loctite. It is signed. There it is right there, Yeni. Really nice watch, guys. Again, I'm not sure if I was able to articulate it well enough in my actual review, but one of the things that I do want to leave you with, other than a wrist shot, which I'll do here in just a second, is that this watch is history. This watch, you're not just buying something that just came out on the market that looks good, which there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to start somewhere. But I think that one of the reasons that we flip watches so much is that we just kind of buy something for the here and now. It's what's cool. It's what's new. Let's go ahead and grab it. But in reality, there's not much to it, or at least we haven't developed that relationship with it. We don't understand where it truly came from, the sweat that went into making a particular watch. And I think that with this watch, one of the reasons that I love it, and something that I really need to kind of get back into, it's like we always talk about it. In my job as a police officer, we always talk about, let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to that, community policing. Let's get back to all those things that made our job wonderful from the get-go. Well, it's kind of the same thing here. Let's get back to the basics. Let's find out about the history of a watch. Let's find out, why it was created and all these wonderful reasons, the sweat, the tears, the late hours that went into this thing that we hold. Again, this watch industry is a passion of ours, or else you wouldn't be watching this review. And so I think that is one of the cool things about when I did this review and I started kind of learning about the watch and that it's still family owned and that people still walk the hallways that are, of course, are related to the original people and had input in redesigning this particular watch. Man, that is cool. So hopefully you understood it in the actual review, but if you didn't, I think it's something, when you hold this watch, I think you're going to be holding a little piece of history. So let me get to the wristwatch. Give me 2 seconds, guys, here, so I can put it on my wrist. And I think that'll be it. So let me move this. Hope you guys enjoy it. You see how nice that sits on your wrist, guys? See that? I don't know if it's as visible as it is right there to me, but you can definitely see that chunky case back kind of just emerging. That lifts the watch up, give it a real nice height. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, so that way if you're kind of below it or slightly above it or right on it, you can kind of see how it's gonna fit. Sorry about the glare, guys. All right, so I think this is going to conclude. It's kind of a long first looks, but this is the watch that you guys are going to be purchasing if you decide to purchase this watch. And again, I think I give it 5 thumbs up from 1 to 5, and I think you guys are going to as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.